when you join yourself with a certain group of people, whether those are individuals on certain YouTube, Facebook, Google, and other outlets, or they are family members, friends in your circle, you become accustomed to saying certain things, thinking certain things, so on and so forth. Although the red pill philosophy is growing exponentially, it's still not been exposed to a large percentage of the population. Those ideas, philosophies, theories, so on and so forth. I remember back in the day, this was like 5 years ago, when I stated I thought 9/11 was an inside job, I got a lot of backlash from people in my family. They weren't mean about it, they just did not buy into the fact that our own government was complicit in an attack. Even people in my friend group who were normally rational individuals sort of didn't believe me. But now, everyone who is in the red pill community that I know personally kind of just genuinely accepts that idea. But if you were to tell a person who was not exposed to the red pill philosophy that 9/11 was an inside job, they would probably think you're a madman. We become so accustomed to certain ideologies that they become platitudes. A platitude is a phrase that you know is true, but you've heard it so many times that it just goes in one ear and out the other. It's kind of like you miss every shot that you don't take. That is true. That is a great quote, but I've heard it so many times, and you probably have as well, especially in school and gym class, that it becomes a platitude. But imagine if you've never heard that idea before. If you're thinking about taking a risk and somebody brings up that quote, you would probably be like, wow, that's interesting. You would probably thank the person for bringing it up, and then you would probably meditate on it, dissect it, whatever. You would at least give it some cognitive activity. In my circle, my family at least understands on a small level. They might not know the ins and the outs and all the intricate details, but they understand things like 9/11 was an inside job, that Republicans and Democrats are all the same, feminism is a plot to destroy the West. They understand all that. Same thing with my group of friends. They understand all that. The thing about me, though, is that I'm the same person whether I am meeting the president, whether I'm on a hot date, whether I'm in a dark room alone. I act the same. I think the same. I'm a genuine person. I'm not here to be loved. If you like me, you like me. If you don't, you don't. There'll be times when I will be having a conversation with somebody who I normally do not speak with on a regular basis. That person is more or less an acquaintance. I will just talk how I normally talk to anybody else. Sometimes I will say something that I just think is a platitude, and then that person will respond with, wow, that's interesting. Or, how did you come to that conclusion? It's because they've not been exposed to that information. This happened to me today at work. I stated to this individual, one of my coworkers, she was saying that I noticed something. Everybody around here is gossiping, but I've never really heard you talk about many people at work. I said, there's no point. I said, you only have a limited amount of calories, energy, and time. The more calories, the more energy, the more time you waste on bullshit like gossip, the less time you have for productivity or to enjoy yourself. I said, when I'm at work, I don't talk about people at work. I don't think about this place. I don't talk about this place. I don't worry about this place. I don't worry about the people at this place. What they do, they do. I'm worried about football, cars, guns, making money, fixing things around the house, things like that. I don't worry about this place. If they want to worry about me, I'm honored. If they would want to spend their time talking about me, regular people, what they do on their own personal time just isn't that interesting. Something to that extent. She's like, really? I never thought about it that way. And I'm like, yeah. I said, I don't got time for this shit when I'm out of here. And that was that. It's like, no offense to these people. I like them personally, they're cool to work with, whatever. But when I see you for such a long period of time, for over 20 hours a week, I don't want to talk to you outside of this place. No offense to you. No offense. I remember one Friday, I worked a late shift. I went to the grocery store, considering we're all freaking out about a disease that kills less than 1%, even with inflated numbers. Another story for another day. Walmart closes pretty early here. I went to Walmart. I saw a coworker. She's a nice person, don't get me wrong. She's easy to work with. She's pleasant to speak with on the job. But I did not want to talk to her after just working over 9 hours with her. No offense to her. I literally went out of my way. I went from one end of the store to the other, even though what I needed to buy was a couple aisles over, just to avoid her, because I know if I stopped to talk to her, I would have been there for like 3 hours. you know, she would have been going on and on and on. I would be wanting to get out of there. And that's just the way I operate. When I'm at work, I'm there to work. I'm not there to make friends. I'm not there to joke. I'm there to get the job done. The faster I get the job done, the faster I get the hell out of there, and the more time I can spend doing what I want to do. Researching, writing, playing football, playing video games, working on cars. Less time at work. I mean, of course, I'll joke with some of the people, I'll talk to some of the people. But again, I think it rubs people the wrong way that I am just there to work. I'm not there to really be social. I've noticed too, this is pretty funny. This happened not too long ago. A lot of the time at work, I'll listen to my headphones just to make the time go by faster. I'll listen to audiobooks, podcasts, music, whatever. Anything to me is more interesting than just bullshit conversation. I remember I heard one of the coworkers saying something about me and I didn't respond. And then a few minutes later, she said something work related. And I said, what was that? Oh, yeah, absolutely. She's like, I was talking about you earlier. You didn't say anything. And I said, that's because I didn't care. She's like, what do you mean? I said, it wasn't anything work related. You just brought me up in general conversation. And I didn't really care what you were talking about. I didn't find it interesting. And she was just kind of shocked that I didn't care when she mentioned me in a conversation. It's like, I don't care. Who cares? You're going to say what you're going to say. I've never once talked about you outside of this place or even in this place. It's kind of funny how that whole thing transpires. These people are so shocked that you don't give a shit. It's like you're truly liberated from society when you don't care what people think of you, when you don't care if people like you, when you don't give a shit. It's just liberating. And I'll admit, I was born this way. I've always not really given a shit about what people think. When I know something is true, when I know something is universally true, I will fight to the death for it. I will go out of my way to make sure that I use everything in my body everything in my power. For instance, the New World Order. I genuinely believe, and I can prove, that there is going to be a great reset. I made a video about this where they're trying to reset the entire society. When it comes to this, I am very abrasive, I am very aggressive towards the officials who are either taking part in this or are complacent in this transpiring. I will go out of my way. I'll be like Alex Jones, if you know him, you gotta stop doing this shit. And then people will be like, where's all that passion and aggression in other areas? I'm like, I just don't care. I care about Western civilization. I care about the scriptures. I care about capitalism. I don't want America to be a socialist shithole, and I'll fight to the death for that. Everything else is everything else. But you got to reach that level. You got to reach that level where bullshit doesn't matter. Think about high school, for instance. The hierarchy. You had the cheerleaders, the football players. At this point in your life, does it really matter that those people didn't like you? Or if they did like you, like, doesn't matter. When you get older, most people move off anyway into their own areas. Most people do their own shit. You don't really see them a lot. And you'll see some people that hit their peak in high school. The girl will be hot, and then all of a sudden she'll become bigger than a damn couch. You'll be like, wow, what happened to her? Or these people that are athletes, and they're not good enough to actually make it. People that make the college team and that make the pros are less than 1%. They're like 0.1%. So the athletes in high school that were praised are now working at Lowe's or working at Home Depot. I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but I'm just stating that they were kind of just the peak, and now they're just an average person. Then you'll have somebody who was sort of a loser, but they've really bettered themselves. They become a lot different. And then you'll have there's this girl at my school who was a weird emo girl, but now she's like really beautiful and really intelligent. It's like, wow, you just really blossomed right after high school. Crazy to see these things happening, but the point I'm making is it doesn't matter your position in high school, right? Same thing at your workplace. It's like 10 years from now, even 3 years, most of those people are going to be gone. It's like, who gives a shit, like, what they think of you? It doesn't matter. It has no impact on your life. The people that know you, they know you. People that don't, they form hypotheses in their head, and then they look for evidence to confirm their hypotheses. That's all they do. It is what it is. But I've rambled on enough. Peace out.